I'm
Yo.
just clicking the lighting real quick.
Yeah, that's fine. What's the game that you were talking about?
So the game is gonna go like this. Uh, so it's just gonna I'm gonna name off 15 fighters for you. So it's gonna be like Hamza Chimaev or GDP. You pick Hamza Chimaev, okay, cool. And then I'm gonna give you another fighter, Hamza Chimaev or Ilia Topuria. You pick Ilia Topuria. Then you have to I have to figure out who's your favorite fighter. You can say you get the game right. I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
Nina does it as well. I wanna do that because I'm gonna add like pictures on top and a tick mark as well. I think that would be pretty cool for the TikTok.
Oh, that'll be pretty cool. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, do you wanna go first or should I go first?
Do I go first?
All right, you can go first. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna name 15 fighters,
Yeah,
and from that, you'll have your winner basically. And if you want, you can send me the video as well. I can edit it for you as well, and
yeah.
I can do mine as
Do you
well.
think do you think I should write it down the names for you first, or just like on the top of my head, just like all the
On top
names?
of your head, I think
On the
you're
top of
pretty
my
good
head, I
with the
can pull the
names.
names.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. All right, I'm ready.
Just one second. Let me just figure out the lighting. That's like this. Oh, wait a second. And all right, I'm gonna start.
Yeah, stop.
All right, yeah, yeah. Ian Gary or Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor. Wait, do I have to give the reason as well, or just
You don't have to give the reason, just
I
name.
can skip over it? Okay.
All right. Conor McGregor or Ilia Topuria.
Ilia Topuria.
Ilia Topuria or Islam Makhachev.
Islam Makhachev.
Islam Makhachev or John Jones.
Islam Makhachev.
Islam Makhachev or Tom Aspinall.
Islam Makhachev.
Islam Makhachev or Hamza Chimaev.
Okay, what are we talking about, by the way? Are we talking about like my favorite fighter, or we're talking about like
Yeah,
that best?
your favorite fighter. Who would you pick out of those two?
Holy shit, dude! You know, I believe Islam is the best, but I'm going with Hamza because like just
Okay,
the just the thing aggression.
yeah.
Hamza Shimano.
Hamza Chimaev or Merab Dvalishvili.
Hamza Shimaev.
Okay. Hamza Chimaev or Rolls Grace.
Hamza Shimaev.
Hamza Chimaev or GSP.
Hamza Shimaev.
Damn. Hamza Chimaev or who else is a legend? Alex Pereira.
Hamza Shimaev.
Damn. Hamza Chimaev or Anderson Silva.
Hamza Shimaev.
Damn, what think so that's beating it. Hamza Chimaev or Khabib.
Oh, Habib. I'm adding another aspect of it, which is like working for the whole team, like sort of thingy, filling the whole camp. So Khabib has like a personality overall. Look,
All
when I
right.
was speaking Islam Makhachev for a while, I believe because he's the best fighter on the planet. I believe that. When I said Hamza Chimaev, it was because the aggression, the eye context, like the
Yeah,
character.
he has
And when
that
I picked
aura.
Khabib
Yep.
at the end, it was like the whole package. Okay, Khabib had the aggression as well. He was a good fighter, but at the same time, doing the thing for the whole community. So I picked Khabib over everybody as like a whole human.
Okay. I'm gonna make it okay. Let me give you. This might be a bit from outside the UFC. Khabib or Usman Nurmagomedov.
Khabib.
Khabib. Khabib or Demetrius Johnson.
Khabib.
Okay. Khabib or Henry Cejudo.
Khabib.
Okay. Khabib or who else is there? That is great. Khabib or Volkanovski.
Khabib.
Alright, I think you got your winner. It's
Yeah,
Khabib.
yeah. Volkanovski has great personality. I mean, it's a great cook
Yep.
as well, but I'll go with Khabib overall. Okay,
Alright, you
so
can just start asking me this quiz. You can
okay,
name up to
I'm gonna start
15 or
asking you the
20
questions.
fighters.
I'm gonna start asking you the questions. So
You can
can I
start.
add like so it doesn't have to be like a MMA fighter. It could also be like a boxer, right? I'm gonna
Yeah,
put like any
yeah, you
combat
can add
sport,
any combat sport you can
any
add.
combat sport athlete. Okay,
Just make sure we both know them.
okay. Um, let me start. It's a good one. Okay, Duplessis or Shara Bullet.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Shara Bullet.
Shara
I
Bullet.
like his style. Yeah,
Okay, Shara Bullet or JDM.
JDM,
JDM or Arman Saryukian.
Arman Sarukian.
Arman Saryukian or Paddy Pimblett.
Ooh, Arman Sarukian.
Arman Saryukian or Iliad Poria.
Damn, you gave me a tough one now. I'm gonna go with Ilya Taporia.
Iliad Poria. Iliad Poria. I'm gonna make it interesting. Iliad Poria or Muhammad Ali.
Oh my god. This is a tough one as well, but I think it's gonna be controversial, but I'm going with Ilya Taporia.
Iliad Poria. Iliad Poria or Mike Tyson.
Damn. Now I have to go with Mike Tyson. I looked up to him too much, yeah.
Okay, Mike Tyson or Fedor Emelianenko.
Mike Tyson.
Okay, Mike Tyson or Brock Lesnar.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson or Alex Pereira.
Alex Pereira.
Alex Pereira. Alex
Shama.
Pereira. Alex Pereira or Tracy Cortez.
Oh my god, this is the hardest one. I'm gonna go with Shama. Alex
No,
Pereira.
Alex Pereira. If you see Alex Pereira, Tracy Cortez in a room, who would you hang out with?
I think it's pretty clear.
Okay. Okay, Alex
Alright.
Pereira. Alex Pereira or CM Punk.
Alex Pereira.
Alex Pereira or Chanko.
Ooh, Alex Pereira.
Alex Pereira or Islam Makhachev.
Islam Makhachev.
Islam Makhachev or Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Islam Makhachev.
Islam Makhachev or Ronda Rousey.
Islam Makhachev.
Islam Makhachev or Conor McGregor.
Damn, this is a good one. Because Conor got me into MMA. But I think I'm gonna go with Islam Makhachev. I respect him way more.
Islam Makhachev. Okay, Islam Makhachev or Francis Ngannou.
Islam Makhachev.
And now Islam Makhachev versus Hamza Shimaev.
You got me with this one. I'm gonna go with Hamza Chimaev.
You wanna go with Hamza
I'm
Shimaev?
gonna go with
How many
Hamza
am I
Chimaev.
asking you, by the way? How many people am I asking you?
You can go a bit more because now
I
it's
can go a
getting
bit.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a
I
little
think
bit
it's
more.
just a little bit more. Okay, Hamza Shimaev or Sean Strickland.
Hamza Chimaev.
Hamza Shimaev. Hamza Shimaev or Amanda Nunes.
Hamza Chimaev.
Okay, Hamza Shimaev or Rico Verhoeven.
Hamza Chimaev.
Okay, and Hamza Shimaev or Uberim. We're talking about the one on like full EPO.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go with Hamza Chimaev. Yeah, I
You're gonna
just
go with
like
Hamza
his.
Shimaev?
Yeah, I just like his
Okay,
energy.
Hamza Shimaev or TRT Vitor Belfort.
Yeah. Hamza Chimaev. Hamza Chimaev.
All right, Hamza Shimaev or Yoel Romero in his prime.
Hamza Chimaev.
Hamza Shimaev. Let me give you a good one. Hamza
Okay.
Shimaev or Sadulayev.
Oh, this is a good one. But I'm gonna go with Hamza Chimaev because I like the
Gotta go with
sports
Hamza
and
Shimaev.
MMA more. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, Hamza Shimaev or Pantoja. You seem to rate him really
I
high.
Damn. I do rate him very high. I'm gonna go with Hamza Chimaev.
Hamza Shimaev. Okay, Hamza Shimaev or Merab Dvalishvili.
Even this one is a good one. I'm gonna go with Hamza Chimaev.
Hamza Shimaev. Hamza Shimaev or Peter Yan.
Ah, Peter Yan is great. Think I'm gonna go with Hamza Chimaev.
You wanna go with Hamza Shimaev?
Yeah.
Okay, do I ask you just the last one?
Yeah, ask me the last one.
Hamza Chimaev or Khabib Nurmagomedov?
They, if Khabib was still fighting, I would pick Khabib. But
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with Hamza Chimaev.
You want to go with Hamza Chimaev?
Yep,
To be honest, fair. Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
yep. I got my winner, Hamza Chimaev.
You got your winner, Hamza Shmaev. I got my
Let's
winner, Khabib
go.
Nurmagomedov.
Allahu Akbar. Woo!
They're saying $1 for shout out.
Dude, I'm not. I can't see any comments. Can you see this?
Huh?
Can you see the
Uh,
comments? I can't see any
now you're gonna
comments.
be able to see the now you're gonna be able to see the comments. Yeah, we should be able to see the comments now. I don't think anybody was
On the
commenting, to be
location.
honest. But I think it's like a period of time that you have to wait before somebody actually comments. So
Oh, okay, okay,
I
okay.
think
Mm.
now we've been streaming for like 10 minutes long, so people should be able to comment now. I just received like a notification which says that
All
you
right.
can actually create a poll. People can also comment on the video. Okay, now we can actually get into the topic and we can look at the future opponents for Islam Makhachev. There's something else that I want to talk about in the video as well, by the way. Once we talk about this, there's something else I want to talk about. But
Just
yeah.
one thing, bro. I had to pull over quickly just for this video. Just make sure you clip it and then send that to me. You know the quiz that we
Oh
just
yeah.
done.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely I can do that.
I'm gonna just turn off my camera. I'm gonna drive. Still carry on with the drive,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we can just discuss.
Yeah, once the
Well,
once the video is finished, I can actually send you right after.
perfect. Yeah. Or I'm just gonna turn off the video now.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right, now we're gonna look at the potential options for Islam Makhachev for his next UFC fight. And by the way, bro, big news: Ilya Topuria is back. He said
Oh
he
yeah,
was replying.
I heard as well. Yeah, people
Yeah,
were asking him in I think on Twitter. I
yeah.
don't know if he officially confirmed it, but I know on Twitter people were asking him. He was answering them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what it is. Like he is because he's replied to them directly. I don't think he'll be lying over there, so he must be like pretty confident over that thing.
Yep.
So if you're seeing
That.
Elite Korean like March, he said like April to June, right? This most probably going to be on the White House. Like if he's coming back in April, there's not much points. I think Dana is going to say like might as well come back in June
Yep.
and fight defend your title on the White House card. So I mean, ideally they want to make Elite Korea versus Patty Pimblett. That's what
Mhm.
they'll be looking forward to do. Okay, so we got. I'm gonna go through the names on like the welterweight division of UFC right now. Oh, so you have number one, Jack Della Maddalena. JDM is number one. So you have
Okay.
Islam as champion. You have JDM as number one. You have Shafkat as number two now. Shafkat used to be number one for a long, long time, but he's number two now. And you have Ian Gary as number one, number three. And you have Michael Morales as number four. And you have Bilal as number five. Farates as number six. Brady as number seven. Usman as number eight. Leon Edwards is number nine. Joaquin Buckley is number 10. Bro, everybody's a killer. Like top 10, everyone is a killer. Then you have Bone Fim at number 11. Gilbert Burns, number 12. Jeff Neal, number 13. Kobe Covington is still ranked, by the way. It's number 14. And you have Daniel Rodriguez, D-Rod at number 15.
Yep.
So who do you want to see Islam going against next? And who do you think are the most So who do you think are the potential opponents? Like there's a lot of potential opponents, and how do you want to rank those opponents, by the way? Like who do you think is the most likely to get the match? Who do you think is the second likely to get the match? And let's do it 1 to 5, like on a ranking or like 1 to 5, who is the most well deserved, or who do you think is the most likely to get it? And the second likely to get it, third likely to get it, fourth likely to get it, fifth likely to get it.
Is this for the welterweight division, right?
This is for the welterweight division. Who do you think UFC is going to actually give the title shot to? Like, I'm not even talking about like the most deserved, the ones who
Yep.
should be getting it, but the most likely to actually get it.
The most likely to get it in the welterweight division. I think they most likely are gonna push Ian Gary because they know that he can talk a lot. And personally, even I wanna see that because I think Ian Gary is pretty good. His grappling is decent. It's not too bad. And I think he's pretty nice on striking as well. He's pretty crispy. So let's see. I think that's the best shot for UFC to push.
I think that's the safest option for UFC as well because look at the rankings right now. Like Kamaru Usman is number 8 on the rankings, and I know that he's likely to get it because there's so many. There's a lot of people that are actually asking for the title shot, right? There's Islam Makhachev, who sees this as like a legacy fight, and probably sees that as like a winnable fight as well. And I know Islam is a champion who doesn't duck any opponents, but I think he sees it as a fight that will give him very far in the legacy, right? Because it's like we're talking about Kamaru Usman, the greatest welterweight champion of, arguably the greatest welterweight champion of all time. I rank him below GSP though, and the guy who was a former number one pound for pound, and you could sell that fight like that. But and then there's some other people as well. Like there's a lot of Dagestani fans who want to see that. There's a lot of other wrestling fans that want to see that, who thinks that Usman could be the one who could actually challenge the wrestling of Islam. Whereas with every other guy, Islam is just going to take them down and submit them. But then there's like a portion of audience that doesn't like this idea because they think that Islam is seeing that as like an easy fight, as a winnable fight, and that's why he's going for that fight. And he probably doesn't want to smoke with like Michael Morales or some of the other guys. And they also think that Usman is pretty deep down in the rankings, number 8. So that's a lot of criticism. Like this guy hasn't won a fight in like he won a fight last year, but before that he was in like a 3-fight losing streak. All they was to the best of the best. They don't want to see that fight happen. Um, so I think the safest route would be Ian Gary because Ian Gary is the guy who does have a takedown defense, right? So you can make an
Yep.
argument that he might be able to defend some of the takedowns from Islam, and we actually saw that in the last fight against Bilal, where he was able to defend some of the takedowns. So and plus he's pretty high up in the rankings, he's number 3, so not many people are actually going to be angry about it. Whereas with every other opponent, like even if you go with Michael Morales, right, he's pretty hard right now. Like he's got the knockout power, he's dropping people in the first round, knocking them out, but we really haven't seen his takedown defense. We haven't seen him against a wrestler who shoots takedowns or even try to shoot takedown. Like Brady could do that. Brady was a decent wrestler, but he didn't try for some reason. So with
Yep.
Michael Morales, I think that would be the concern that people have. But I think Ian Gary, he can please fans from both sides. Like if you give title shot to Ian Gary, I don't even think Dagestani fans are going to be upset about it because they're like, Ian Gary does actually have a takedown defense. Like this guy actually deserves it. And like with the other fans, they're going to be fine with it as well. They'll be like, all right, he's number 3 on the rankings. He fulfills that criteria. The guy's been pretty active. He's reliable. He takes the fights on like short notices. He's done it many times, multiple times, saves the UFC cards, right? You can call Ian Gary on like 5 days' notice. This guy will be willing to take the fight. He can talk shit. Like he can run his mouth. He can sell the press conferences, the fights. So I think Ian is the guy who fulfills all the criteria. He's a tested guy. We've seen him against Shavkat Rakhmonov. We've seen him against Bilal. We've seen him against Protest. We've seen him against like a high level competition where some of the other guys haven't proven themselves to that extent. And Usman is a bit worn out. Ian Gary's in the prime of his life. So I think for UFC, man, this is the easiest, safest option. Put Ian Gary against Islam Makhachev. I think that's the likely one to get it.
I think same, bro. I think logically it makes sense. When you're talking about business wise, it makes sense, and when you're talking about skill wise, it makes sense as well.
Yeah,
Um, cause bro, he's proved himself. Like, what rank is he? Is he second? Rank
he's
two or rank three?
he's ranked 3, but he has faced a lot of guys. Like he's faced Shavkat Rakhmonov rank 2. He's faced
Yep,
Bilal Muhammad rank 5. Carlos Pradas rank 6. He's faced who else has he faced? Like he's faced a lot of guys in the top 10, right?
exactly. Yep.
hmm So I think
I
he's the
think,
guy who actually makes a
but
fun
the
and
thing
like,
is, yeah, the only I think the only person that is higher than him is Shafkar Rakhmonov
hey,
because
why
he
didn't you
has
see,
a win
man?
over him, right?
You're right. We're just discussing the opponents for Islam Makhachev, and we think Ian Gary's the one who deserves it. But can you see the
Yeah,
comments, by the way?
yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, what were you
Yeah,
saying?
I was saying the only reason I think Shafqat is above is number one contender is because is he's beaten Ian Gary, but he's been off for like a year or two now, right? So they should
Yeah, that's the only problem. Like
potentially move.
Shafkat has been off for a long, long time. By the way, even if they give the title shot to Shafkat, I don't think many people are going to be mad about this. Like I was talking about like Ian Gary, right? I was thinking
Yep.
not many people are going to be mad. Like even the fans who hate Ian Gary, they will accept it. They would understand the logic. I think with Shafkat, a lot of people are going to be okay because he was actually the official deserved guy who was supposed to fight Bilal. So I think people are going to be fine with it. Shafkat,
Which Shafqat are
winning
you
Shafkat the
talking
fight
about?
once before getting the title shot. See, that's the thing I'm saying. Like but he should be getting a fight, and it's good for Shafkat as well. Like we're not trying to protect Islam Makhachev, because the thing is, if Shafkat goes in straight against Islam Makhachev, we don't even know where his cardio is, where his injury is. He's coming back after a long time. He might just go against Islam and get submitted in the first round. But like have a tune-up fight, win a competition, and then rally your fans behind you. So I'll say give the title shot to Ian, and then maybe put Shafkat against like one of the guys who actually are looking for a um I don't think you should push Shafkat against Michael Morales, because I am a big advocate for like protecting the record of some of the guys. Like if they're undefeated, don't put them against each other. They should fight for the title. So I don't think you should be putting Shafkat against Michael Morales. I think put Shafkat against maybe like Usman. Maybe make Usman versus Shafkat, right? And if Usman actually thinks that he's still that good, and if he beats Shafkat, I think a lot of people would be okay with the title shot. Like right now, people are saying Usman shouldn't get the title shot because this guy has won only one fight in the last I don't know how many years, right? So if you make Usman versus Shafkat, they will test each other's wrestling to some extent as well. Like neither of these guys are as good of like grapplers as like Islam Makhachev, but they're gonna try to wrestle each other to some extent. So you're gonna find out like how well they do against each other. Has Usman still got it? Like how is Shafkat doing against the wrestling of Usman? So I think that would be a good idea. What do you say, Fight?
Yeah, I agree with you. I just think that if they give Shafkat a
Yeah.
title shot, it's just that UFC is gonna have to do a lot of work when it comes to promos. Because Shafkat cannot speak English that well, and obviously because they are friends, Islam Makhachev and Shafkat Rakhmanov. I don't know if
Yeah.
they're even gonna talk trash to each other.
I don't think that. I think
I
they're
think
gonna be
it's
too respectful.
so yeah, I think that's why from business point of view, it's not the best fight. It could sell just because of the both record and the competition that they both have faced.
Hmm.
But I think when you talk about when you're looking at it from business point of view, I don't think so. So it will be the fight that UFC or Dana White would want to put together right now.
Exactly. I think the same thing. And yeah, Wenjin CC saying Shafkat versus JDM, Islam versus Morales, Prada scary. Look, Shafkat versus JDM is also a good option. JDM can get
Oh, that's a really good option actually. I
he
think
get a
that
chance
they
to
should
make a
make that
comeback.
fight first.
They can make that fight. JDM versus Shafkat. JDM can get the chance to actually make a comeback, right? He's talking about like Shafkat gets a chance to prove himself that I've still like after the injury, I'm still the guy. I haven't lost anything. And you know, Shafkat's stock was kind of down as well after the Ian Gary fight, where Ian Gary was
Yeah,
able to take his back at some point. People are like, okay, maybe Shafkat was all hype. Maybe he's not that good. Remember before the Ian Gary fight, everyone's like, Shafkat is that killer. You know, when Laura Sanko was talking about Shafkat Rahman.
yeah. She
Shafkat
was hyping him up quite a lot.
that man. Shafkat Rahman.
She's like,
So
Shafkat gives me goosebumps.
Dangerous, yes. So we wanna see that Shafkat, right? You want that aura back of Shafkat. Like everybody thought he was a killer. So if he could like go against JDM and like completely destroy JDM, then you would have that sort of like Shafkat auras back. And then he would sell even more against Islam Makhachev. Like this guy goes against Islam, they'll be like undefeated guy who is submitting all of his, finishing all of his opponents against Islam Makhachev. That could sell a lot. But you know, Islam versus Morales, Protas, Gary. Look, I'm gonna disagree with more. I'm gonna disagree with Protas, especially specifically. I'm okay with Gary. Like Gary is my first choice. I think Gary should be the one getting the title shot because I think he could talk his shit, sell the fights. Plus, he's pretty good. His takedown defense is very underrated. Protas, the
Yep.
only thing reason I disagree is because we've seen his
But with
takedown defense.
Pratas, I think it's just gonna be a very easy fight for
It's
Islam
gonna be
Makhachev.
very easy. Look, I see the threat in products as well, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Islam is just gonna go and submit him. Like there's a genuine threat. Maybe it's only 5%, but there's a threat. Like products, he sleeps Islam. Like you know, Islam is going for the takedown. Products needs him or like elbows him, spinning elbows, some shit like that. Because this guy can't do crazy shit like that. I
Yep.
think Pradas is probably the best strikers, most dangerous guys out of all of them. But it's like the takedown defense we've seen it, so we want to see more out of it. And he lost his was like second last fight or something. Maybe win more fight and then we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Morales, okay, his takedown defense, he hasn't shown it because nobody has actually shot a takedown on him. But we know that he did judo when he was 7, but it's not
Yeah.
really tested in the UFC. So I'm not the advocate for Morales getting the title shot, but I wouldn't be mad because he still hasn't been exposed. Like nobody's been able to like take him down and ragdoll him. So you could still have that instill that in people's mind. Like Morales, he is like a former judo guy who can defend all the takedowns from Islam. Yeah, this could be a selling point, right? I think this could be
Yep.
a selling point. So if UFC gives it to Morales, I would actually not be angry. Plus, this guy is undefeated. You can always sell the fight with the undefeated guys. Like these guys have never lost a fight.
Oh yeah, hundred
So
percent.
for myself, I put Gary is like the most likely to get it, and I think Gary should be the one getting it. Morales is the second one, and I think Protest. I don't think he should be getting it. I just don't think he should be in the conversation right now. I think he needs to win one fight. And with Shafkat, I wouldn't be mad if he gets it right now. Like that's he's undefeated. He was the contender before, but I think it's better if he wins one fight as well. And just like you're
Yeah.
suggesting, like Shafkat versus JDM, I think that could be an option. Or like if you want to put Shafkat against Usman, I think that could also be. But you know what they could do? Actually,
Bro,
Shafkat versus
just
JDM.
keep talking. I'm gonna join back the live because the I don't know, something is happening with your voice. It's just dimmed out again.
Okay, okay, you can join the live back again.
Yeah, let
You
me
know, with
join the
Shafkat
live.
JDM, I just want to say that's probably better because you could make Shafkat JDM, and at the same time you can make Usman versus Bilal. You know, there's a lot of rivalry between Bilal and Usman. Like they've been talking shit for like a while. Where Usman doesn't think that Bilal is like a high level guy, it's like Khabib and Islam. He doesn't think that Bilal wrestles on the same level, and Bilal thinks it's quite disrespectful. And you see Bilal talk about his knees is like, yes, Usman has got no knees. This guy can't even shoot a takedown and now. So I think they make that fight happen. O'Malley or Umar, who do you think will get the title shot at bantamweight? Look, dude, I want Umar to get it, and I think he's the one who actually deserves the title shot because this guy is actually on a win streak, right? He won the fight against Batista. Was it the best performance? Maybe it wasn't the best because he got a head kick and it was like, and it turned out to be a little bit more difficult than we thought. But I think if he wins a fight against Figueredo, he should be the rightful opponent for Peter Yan. Because how many times have we seen O'Malley losing the title shot? We saw him against Marab like twice, and it wasn't like all right. It was a close fight. It was like one sided match. It was like 50-45 in the first fight. Second fight, he got submitted. So O'Malley should not deserve it. But you see how the UFC PR machine works, man. If you talk more, if you got more of a personality, you have a podcast outside, you can probably sell more tickets. Their fighting style is like a knockout style. So
Yeah,
I see UFC actually giving the title fight to O'Malley, and you have a storyline behind it. Like many people actually believe that Peter Yan actually won the first fight against O'Malley, and I actually believe that as well. So they'd be like, okay,
yeah, I think
O'Malley,
that's just. Yeah, Peter Yan did one. He just got robbed, I think.
O'Malley's fighting a tougher guy. Do you think Song Yadong is actually tougher than Figueiredo? I mean, Song is pretty good. Song is bigger than Figueiredo for sure. He's a good boxer. His striking is really good. His judo
But
is also
did
not.
I Song Yodong for Peter Yan as well?
Song Yadong lost to Peter Yan, but he was doing pretty good against Peter Yan, to be honest. Peter Yan was able to take him down in like the last few rounds. But Song
Yeah,
was doing pretty good in striking. So, you know what? I can understand if O'Malley gets a title shot, but I wanna be more mad at the matchmaking, right? Look, look. The reason I think they're gonna give it to O'Malley is because they put O'Malley on the main card. They put Omar on the
yeah,
undercard. So that tells you they're gonna give the title shot to O'Malley. But also, why couldn't they make O'Malley versus Omar? They could have directly made that matchup. They didn't make the matchup. They gave Umar to Figueredo, and they gave
yeah.
O'Malley to
They
Song
know
Yadong.
what's gonna happen.
They know because that would have been the best number one contender fight, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that would have been the best one.
Rosie,
Keep
you're
up the
doing good.
hard work, bros. You're
Oh,
doing
thank
good.
you,
I mean,
thank you.
thank you very much, bro. Cheers. So I think because they were afraid that O'Malley would actually lose to Umar Nurmagomedov,
Yeah,
Whereas in that fight, they could have actually built up the fight. There's so many things that you could have actually built up with the storylines. Like you could have said O'Malley's the guy who's fought for the title many times. Omar is the new lion, and now you have those two guys going against each other. People question the wrestling of Sean O'Malley, but look, he's going to be able to defend the takedowns against Umar Nurmagomedov. So that was like a chance for O'Malley to prove that he could defend the takedowns. He could go against the best wrestlers. And then at the same time, you could have said Umar Nurmagomedov, even though he lost against Marab, but look, he's making his comeback and he's going against Sean O'Malley. Plus, he gets like the star power from Sean O'Malley. There's going to be a lot of
yeah,
spotlight. You sell the fight, amazing, but they didn't want to do that. So I think they wasted the opportunity, and the only reason was like they wanted to give O'Malley the title shot.
yep. That's true. Tyler is saying hello in the chat.
Yo, Tyler,
Yo,
how's it
Tyler.
going, bro?
But
Vengeance is saying they didn't want any of them to lose. But here's the thing, right?
I
You think they want
know.
O'Malley to win and they want Umar to win, or it could also be like UFC is looking at who puts on a better performance. So like they're
Yeah.
looking for the more spectacular performance, and they're like, we're giving the chance to both of them. Remember the last card when Morales and Pradas was fighting on the same card, and they both put on spectacular performance. They both got like beautiful knockouts, and it was so hard for the UFC fans, UFC to choose like who should be getting the title shot. And then you had Ian Gary fighting the next week, and he put in a good performance as well. So maybe it could be something like that. UFC wants both of them to actually good finishes, and then they're looking for the fans' reaction to be like, okay, what are the fans saying? And they listen to the fans and be like, okay, Umar got a better submission, or like O'Malley got a better knockout. But we'll see what
Yeah.
happens, right? They
Yeah.
both could end up losing at the end. Who knows?
What's happening with Conor McGregor and Dana White? It seems to be a fallout.
Conor McGregor and Dana White.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Conor McGregor and Dana White. I think Dana is just not interested in the fight itself with Michael Chandler.
I feel like there must be something happened there during negotiation. Maybe Conor wasn't serious or something like that, and Dana was like, "Oh, okay, I'm done with this guy."
Yeah, I think it's probably something
Because
like
you
that
know
as
Conor
well.
McGregor, he's like very serious at one point, and then he goes off and smokes crack
Yeah,
at
I mean, it
midnight.
could also be that Connor
That's
was
what
probably
on
asking
Twitter.
for
Yeah.
like more money, or he was asking for like to be the main event because this is what Connor wanted, right? To be in the main event of the White
Yeah.
House card. And Dana is probably like, we have this fight as like the main event, and this fight as a co-main event. So Connor
Yeah.
is probably going to be like the fourth or the fifth guy, or maybe Dana even offered him like a prelim spot. He's like,
But
you're
to be
not
honest,
even.
they could have even put him in main event card. He would have sold it pretty good.
He would have
Don't
sold
you
it pretty
think?
good, but there would have been a
He's
lot of
still a star.
criticism. There would have been a lot of criticism from the fans. When was the last time Conor McGregor actually won a fight? That was like years ago, right? And
Yeah.
Dana is not going to be if you have Ilya fighting Paddy Pimblett, or if you have like Alex Pereira fighting John Jones, surely you're not going to put Conor McGregor as the main event. And if
Yeah.
you have like a lot of title
That's
fights
true. Yeah.
going on, if there's like guys who are fighting for the title, actual genuine guys, skill level they're so high. Do you
Do
think there
you
will be
think
a
they will be?
champion UFC's matchmaking as they don't have to sell pay per views? Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
maybe because Paramount, right? Nobody's buying the pay per views. You're getting everything at the same price.
How do
You
you think it will change though? For
look,
good or for bad?
I don't even think it's changing for the good, to be honest. You look at the first Paramount event and the title fight that we have, those guys don't even deserve the title shot. I think this is the UFC just trying to impress Paramount. Like, we are all about the violence and action because if you put Arman Saryukin on,
Yeah.
although his fights are not boring, there was a possibility that Arman took one of those guys down and maybe just controlled them for a long period of time, which the casual fans don't understand, right? They're trying to get a
Yeah.
lot of the casual audience at the moment. And that's why they put Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett. They know those guys are going to try to bang. Paddy loves
Yeah.
to bang as well, even though he can grapple, but he's going to try to bang as well, and you might get a finish that way, right? And Justin Gaethje
Mhm.
is like the most entertaining fighter. You have the highlight reel, so
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
maybe they might change the structure later on, but at the moment, it looks like they're still going for like the star power. They're not actually giving the title shots to the most deserved opponents. Overall, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I think right now, stop people who have more following, they hold a bit more saying in negotiation when it comes down to it.
And they're punishing guys as well. Like even Laura Senko was talking about it. Like the stylistically, the guys who are not the best matchups, who don't put on the best matchups, they're punishing them,
Mhm.
especially wrestlers.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
cutting. They're
They even
leaving.
changed the rules for UFC, right? Now you can't do something when it comes to grappling. Apparently, you can't just hold a person down. You won't
I
get
think I
you
think
won't get
scoring. They
yeah
wouldn't score
scoring.
it
Yeah,
in their favor. So if you're just getting a takedown, they're not going to score it in your favor unless
yeah,
you're doing a lot of damage or you're doing a lot of like the submission attempts, and they might stand you up as well. Like if
yeah.
you get a takedown in the first like 30 seconds, there's not much action that happened. They might just stand you up. I
But
like.
the main thing is, bro. The problem with UFC right now is the gloves. Like so many people are getting eye pokes. Like Tom Espinal, bro. We don't even know if he's gonna make a comeback because his eye is that badly damaged, and UFC
Yeah,
hasn't
but
changed the gloves
they
or
they
done
did for
anything.
a
That's
while,
the
but it
main
didn't make any
problem right now.
difference. They did change the gloves for a while, but it didn't make any difference, and it was like the fights were getting less entertaining. So with the yellow gloves that they were getting, they
Yeah,
didn't have the knockout ratio actually dropped with the yellow gloves. So
yeah,
that's why they brought back the black gloves, and many people were actually in favor of bringing back the black gloves.
Yeah,
And
I
with the
see.
yellow gloves, they couldn't even reduce the eye pokes. It wasn't like, all right, you got like the more what's the word for that? Like the with the yellow gloves, there was less motion for the gloves for
Yeah.
the hands. So you would
Mhm.
probably expect the hands to not open that much and
Yeah.
have less eye pokes, but that was not the case.
Yeah, that
There were
wasn't the case. Yeah.
exactly the same number of eye pokes.
Okay, there's another comment. I think we might see Ilya versus the interim champ at White House. If not, they need to make the interim champ defend versus Armin. Yeah, I think I agree with him. I agree with him.
I think it's likely to happen now because I was reading the comments on like Instagram. Ilya actually replied to one of the comments on his post,
Yeah.
which was like, "I'm gonna make a comeback in like April to June. That's what I'm looking for." So he was saying it pretty confidently, which means that he's got some sort of signal from UFC, and I think his law court case is probably settled as well. So
Bro, he was also saying that he's not gonna give Armin a shot. He's gonna fight the winner of Paddy versus Justin Gaethje. What the fuck are they gonna do with Armin Sarikin? I'm kind of pissed off about that.
we know what they're gonna do with Arman Sarikin. Do you see the reason? I know what they're gonna do with Arman Sarikin. They're gonna give him like uh, the winner of the BMF title. That's what they're gonna be doing it. But you know, did you see Dana White actually talking about like why Arman Sarikin did not get the title shot? Dana was like because he headbutted the guy.
Bro, that is such a bullshit answer. You know that. What about Conor
That
McGregor throwing a dolly at the bus?
Conor McGregor
Why did he get a
literally
title shot
hospitalizing
even after
people.
that?
He's
He
hospitalizing people.
injured two people there.
He injured two people. Two people went to the hospital. They missed their fight. Did you
Yep,
see? They missed their
yep.
fight. They couldn't fight because they had
It's
like a thing going on in the
insane,
eye.
bro.
That's how
Dana
bad
White
it was.
sometimes he speaks shit out of his mouth, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes
And
it's
by the
actually
way,
ridiculous.
in no way I'm trying to support Armin Tariq and what he did. I'm not advocating for violence. I think that could have been really dangerous. I don't think people should be headbutting each other when you know the next day you're actually gonna fight them in the cage. So why the fuck
No,
are you
bro, what
headbutting
I
people?
don't like, yeah, when Conor McGregor is doing anything chaotic, Dana White is like, oh, it's a fight business. It's a fight business. But
Yeah,
when somebody else like Armin Sarikin does it, he's like, oh, he headbutted him.
yeah,
That's why he's
exactly.
not
I
getting the
mean,
title. So like,
it's
what the
just some
fuck?
sort of like favoritism, discrimination. That's the only thing. Like I know I don't support like what Armin did is like kind of shit as well. But at the same time, if there was somebody else doing it, there would be no problem. Depends on the fighter who's doing it. Like John Jones,
Yeah,
remember John Jones in DC? That face off with these
yep,
guys literally punching each other, and then there was like a
yeah,
takedown.
exactly.
They're on top of each other. That fight doesn't get canceled. But with Armin Sarikin, there's a headbutt, and I'm sure Dan Hooker is the kind of guy who he doesn't give a fuck about anything like that. Dan Hooker is a different sort of personality. So, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Max Holloway versus Arman Sarikin is a good fight, not gonna lie. But UFC needs to give Arman someone because Max has a fight booked. Maybe someone like Gamrot or John Pork. John Pork.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right?
I
I don't
think
think
John
he's
Pork
gonna get
is
it.
pretty low in ranking right now.
John Rook, yeah, Armin's not getting anything out of the fight, and it's a risky fight as well. Like I think Armin beats him at this point, but what is he? Why do you want to put your like streak on the line against a guy who has good wrestling now? Like we know he's got decent wrestling because he's been training with like Khabib and the guys. So what
Yeah.
if he's able to defend the takedowns and he can actually?
But I still think Arman Sarikin would beat John Pork because
I
he's
think the same
yeah,
thing, but it's like why do you want to risk it though? Like
yeah,
what do you?
exactly. Why risk the spot?
Why
Yeah.
risk the fight against John Brook? He doesn't deserve it at the moment. He doesn't. He's
Yeah.
not even top. I don't even know if he's top 15 or not. Or maybe he just made it to top 15 now. And like Gamrod, Brooke Gamrod, I know people would like to see some people are actually asking for this match, but Gamrod is on like a 3-5 losing streak. And if you watch, if you're talking about like skill wise, right? Gamrod does have a lot of skills. Like this guy is sort of like a complete fighter. I think Armin beats him now. I think Armin beats him worse than what he did to him before. Now you're gonna say that officially Gamrod won the first fight, but I watched the fight back, and I can clearly tell you that Armin you can actually won 3 rounds against Gamrod. It was a robbery, I would say. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
watched analysis on that as well. Like it's not just my analysis. I watched some of the other guys talking about it as well. Armin Sarikin did beat Gamrod in the first fight, and now Armin Sarikin is just getting better. He's improving. Gamrod is probably at the end of his career now, and he's
Yeah.
on a 3-5 losing streak. So why would you give a chance to a guy who is on a 3-5 losing streak? And if Armin loses, imagine if he loses this fight. He's gonna go down in the rankings. Dana is gonna
Yep.
delay the title shot even more.
Who else can give
Okay,
you? Who
BSC.
else
Okay,
can you
BSC.
give
Okay, what
him
I'm
the
gonna
money?
do, right? BSD makes a little bit of a he makes a little bit of a sense because he's actually on a winning streak. He did actually win like last two or three of his fights. All right, makes a bit of a sense. But
Who is
why don't give
BSD?
BSD is Benoit Saint Denis from the French
Oh,
guy
okay.
who beat who did he beat last time? He lost to Moicano. He beat he beat the old guy Benel. He beat Benel. He knocked out
Oh,
Benel.
Vanille Dariush, yeah.
He knocked out Benel pretty bad. So
Mm.
BSD is a good option, but I would say, um, what's his name? We're talking about like Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira, right? They're fighting each other. So if Max and Charles they fight like now, Dariush, yeah,
Yeah.
Benel Dariush. So Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira is fighting. Let me check the date because I think it's official. So if you have that fight in like if you have this fight in like 1 month, and then you're going to be able to make Arman versus those guys on the same cards like Ilya versus Patty, you can make that on the White House card. So imagine on the White House card, you got Ilya versus Patty on as like the co-main event. Arman is fighting. Arman's fighting the winner of Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway as like the number three or the number four fight, and then it could be a call out. Then you could also have like those guys facing off, doing a face off, right?
Yeah.
So from March, okay, March, you have them fighting in March. Let me
Yeah,
check
I
actually.
think that
One
makes
second.
that will be the best choice because then it will hype up the fight even more, and near the end of the year they can just put that fight together. To be honest, but bro, if they delay longer than this year, I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what the fuck UFC
So
is gonna be doing.
they're fighting on 7th of March. So it means they would have time. 7th of March. So they have the whole month of March. I hope neither of them get injured when they're fighting
Mm.
against each other. I mean, these guys are bad motherfuckers, so they're probably gonna hurt each other. But I hope
Yeah,
neither of them get injured. So March, April, May, and then it's the 4th of June. That's nearly like 4 months. You have enough
yeah,
time. I think they should be able to make Arman in the White House against one of those guys.
yeah. There's quite a lot of
Uh,
comments there.
BSD versus Arman is making zero sense. Only winner Charles versus Max. If not, just wait until the title shot. That's the only thing making sense from Arman's perspective. You know, Baba,
Yeah,
I
I
do
think I
agree,
agree.
but I'm
Yeah,
just talking about like the worst case scenario. A worst case scenario is like Armin's not getting any fights, and the thing is, you're saying wait, right? I'm not in favor of waiting. The only reason being, I think it could diminish your skill sometimes. Like when you're in the camp, you're constantly working towards a goal. So if you're saying, okay, Armin doesn't take the title, Armin's not taking any of the fights, I wonder if his skill set actually goes down. And I know he's doing a lot of grappling matches outside, so he's keeping himself active. But just to give him a bit of a motivation, I think if he's getting nothing, which shouldn't be the case because I think Armin
yeah.
deserves it right now.
And I
Like
don't know,
ideally,
waiting. Does Dana like people waiting?
yeah, that's the only problem, right? That's a problem as well. Like at the same time, it's not even just about like out of the cage. It's like if Dana's pushing you, if it's putting a lot of pressure on you to take the fight, and you know how much criticism he was facing from the fans last year when they were
Yeah,
saying like this guy has been off for like 15 months. You know, Armin Sarikin actually wanted to fight. It wasn't on
yeah,
Armin to be off for 15 months. He was only
yeah.
off for like the
I
first
think
three
people
months.
weren't accepting the fight.
Nobody was
Yeah,
accepting his fight. Dan Hooker was the only guy who actually took the fight against Arman Sarikin. He was calling out everybody in the whole weight class. Paddy Pimblett said no to him. Justin Gaethje said no to him. There's so many other guys that said no
you
to
see,
him.
I agree with him. He says we do not need another Armor versus Charles. I agree. Yeah, we don't need to see that fight again. To be honest,
Okay, here's the thing, right?
poor
There,
Charles will
there was a
lose
lot of
again. Yeah,
criticism. Okay, vengeance. Okay, I do understand the logic that we're seeing the fight before, but we saw like a 3 round fight. And do I think Arman Sarikin beats him? I think Arman Sarikin beats him worse than he beat him
yeah,
before. Like last time was pretty close. And if you
yeah.
make like a 5 round fight, now you can shut down the fans because there's a lot of fans that are asking for like Arman Sarikin versus Charles Oliveira again. They believe that Charles Oliveira won the first fight.
Yeah, it's
I
those
don't think he
high,
won it.
what do you call it, die-harding fan for
Yeah.
Charles Oliveira.
Because
To
the
be
thing is,
honest,
Charles is so popular among the fans.
he
Everybody loves
is. Yeah,
Charles. It's because he's so humble. He's got good finishes. He's just a nice guy overall, right?
yeah.
So fans think that they if they fight in like a 5 rounds fight, that will be the only just case. So if Charles is able to beat Max Holloway, let's say, why not make Charles versus Arman Sarikin for 5 rounds? Because now if
Yeah.
Arman beats him in the 5 round fight, he can shut everybody down. Nobody's going to be able to say anything. Plus, he gets the BMF belt. And you know, BMF belt, you make the same amount of money as like the actual belt. So why not
Yeah.
take some extra cash? There
Dude,
actually is an interesting solution. If only if Volk retire as a champion, Arman can fight for vacant title with the winner of Evloev versus Murphy. Evloev versus Murphy. You mean Evloev versus Murphy as like a featherweight?
yeah, he's talking
Dude,
about featherweight. Yeah,
dude.
Can
I
can
don't think
can
it's a good
Arman
one.
make that? Can Arman make featherweight?
Look, Armin seems that he's been pretty confident in like the last couple of podcasts. He's been talking about making the featherweight. I think the only reason he's
That's what
saying
I'm
is that
thinking. Arman is pretty huge, right?
because he
Light
missed the
heavyweight.
weight one time, right? So he wants to prove to people that I can even make like featherweight. I don't think it's
Yeah,
going to be a good idea, bro, because
I don't
talking
think
about it
so
and
as well.
actually
Yeah,
making it, the thing is, bro, even if you make the weight, you know how much you're going to compromise. Do you remember when TJ Dillashaw cut from 135 to 125?
yeah, yeah.
This guy got knocked out
Bro,
by Henry Cejudo so quick, and that
yeah,
was TJ's sort of prime. And you know, TJ is like one of the best fighters. That fight should
yeah.
have not gone down like that. I'm sure if they fight at like 100%,
He
that
even
fight
took
will go to.
EPO and it didn't help his case.
It did not help his case. He couldn't take a shot. So with Arman
Yeah,
Sarikian, the amount of muscle that this guy's packing, okay, this guy's not
yeah.
tall.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't think so.
He's
He
an
can make
explosive guy.
145.
I don't think it's the best idea. I don't think we're going to see the best Arman Sarikian of 145. So
Yeah, I think it's
I'm
gonna be
not. I'm
pretty
not
weak.
in favor of that. Plus, you're going against a guy like Evloev. You know, most of Evloev, that motherfucker does not even get tired.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you seen his fights, by the way? He
Yeah, I've
might have
seen
like the best pound for pound. Like he's there with Marab. Like this guy does not get tired. He's constantly shooting takedowns. So
he's, he is never getting a title shot again, even at 145. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if he moves on to featherweight and he loses a fight there, bro, he's not getting a title shot in light heavyweight or featherweight. Then he's gonna have to move down to bantamweight.
exactly. Now imagine he moves to 145 and then he loses to a guy who's smaller than him. And then
Yeah,
it's like you can't even beat 145ers. How are you gonna beat 155?
exactly. Yeah,
That's another excuse that you're giving to the promotion. So
yeah,
I don't
exactly.
think 45.
I think
I'm
that's a
definitely not
huge
in.
risk for Arman if it does go down. I don't think
No,
so.
no. I
I don't
would
think
be
so. He
more
should
in
do that.
favor of Arman going to 170. I don't
Yeah,
even think that's the best idea. I think
because
fight at 155. But I could
yeah,
see him going to 170 in like a few years. Maybe in a few years you go to 170, but 145 from
yeah.
me it's like a hard no. And I know where you're coming from because Arman's been talking about it on the podcast. He's saying that he can make 145. I don't think that's the best idea. Like
No, I don't
making
think
weight
so.
is
No.
not the only thing. It's also about like how it affects your performance.
I feel like he's just hungry for the belt because he's been waiting for so
Yeah,
long.
exactly. I
I
think he
feel
just
like that's
wants the
why
belt, right?
he just
So
wants the belt.
he's talking about the belts. He's like, okay, if I don't get the main title, 155 title shot, I can get the BML. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe put me against Charles and Max. But then maybe he listens to the news from like Dana White and be like, okay, this is gonna be hard. Maybe time wise, maybe that might not work. And then he's like, okay, give me a 145 title shot then. So
yeah. Islam versus Arman at 170 in few years. If Arman wins the belt, would be huge. Yeah, I think I'll
yeah,
watch for that as well.
I
Islam
think
versus Arman will always be big, to be honest.
it will be big. It will always be big. You could sell that fight a lot because they fought one time. The second time they were supposed to fight, and that couldn't happen because unfortunate event happened. Armin couldn't make weight,
Yeah,
and then whatever it was, like back injury, whatever. I don't know. I don't want to go too deep into this, but that would be big.
he's saying now at 170, no chance for Arman. He's like Ilya size, but doesn't have the same KO abilities. His strength is grappling, and he's not better than Islam. Hmm.
I mean, not completely wrong to be
Yeah,
honest. I agree with some of the takes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they fight at
but
one
I
seventy.
think Arman grappling is improved quite a lot from the last
His
time you said.
grappling is
Quite a
improved
lot.
a lot.
Yeah,
You see that like when he's grappling, right? His ground control. Watch Arman
yeah,
Sarikin fights from when he started UFC. He didn't have the same sort of control. Like, could he shoot for the
yeah,
takedowns? All right, double legs
mhm,
were nice. But even with the Gamrot fight, he couldn't control him like that. But now, if you look at the grappling that I think because of the effort that he's putting outside, like he's doing a lot of jiu-jitsu competitions, he's so sticky. Like he could just stick
yeah,
on top of you, and he's very good at like getting the backs, transitions, and grappling. So I think that has improved. With that being said, 170 against Islam, I think
yeah.
Islam is just the best fighter on the planet, man. To be honest, if you're looking for my opinions, I think Islam beats him. But
Arman gave the toughest fight to Islam at his debut. He will
he'll be a
be
lot
a lot
better at
better at
170.
170.
Yeah, when NCC, I see what you're saying. He did give him a tough fight. He was pretty young, and has Arman Sarikin improved? He did, but so is Islam. Islam is a much better fighter as well. And I
Yeah,
think 170 is just so many. Like the thing is like because Islam is like 5'11". On Google it would say 5'10", but it's actually 5'11". And then Arman's like 5'7". Now I know height is not the only thing that matters, but Islam is going to be able to keep the distance. That's the thing. Islam can kick against Arman Sarikin. And Islam felt very strong at 170. He had time to actually develop at 170.
Yeah.
With that being said, Islam is also very good. Like he knows when to shoot the takedowns. His IQ level is very high. With wrestling, it's a hard battle, but I think because Islam's got such a strong background in judo, he was able to trip Arman a few times in the first fight.
Yeah.
So he might win the grappling battle, but I think also the striking battle is going to be a bit hard for Arman because even though Arman Sarikin is a decent striker, I think the range actually gives him problems. So I pick Islam any day of the week.
He gave a tough fight at the start of Islam career. It's not the same Islam now. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
both of
agree.
the guys have improved. I don't see, to be honest, I don't see the fight happen. You know why? Because I think Islam is going to retire in like he's going to retire in like two
Yeah,
years.
he was talking about retirement as well. I remember. Yeah.
I know he wants to defend his title three times. That's what they've said. So he's going to fight maybe let's say Ian Gary now, and then he might
Yeah.
fight Shafkat or might fight Morales after that. He's beating three of those guys, and I think that's good enough work. He's defended his title at lightweight four
Bro,
times. He
to be
defends this
honest with
title.
you, yeah, I do want Islam to have the Ilya fight before he retires, bro. Cause bro, there's gonna be Ilya fans. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you ducked Ilya to Korea."
I think Islam is willing to give him that fight. If Dana wants to
I
make the
hope they
fight
make
happen
that
anytime,
fight happen, bro. Cause I don't want it to be a curse fight like how Khabib and Tony was.
you know, if Dana White offers the Ilya fight to Islam in the White House, Islam will actually take it. He's very confident on 170, and I think it's
Yeah.
going to be less competitive than people think at 170.
Yeah, 170. I agree with you. Yeah. Well, I don't see anyone beating Islam at any time. Yeah.
No one. I don't see anyone beating him either.
Yeah,
170.
it's just that Ilya fight is very fun fight because there is bad blood behind it. Storyline will be fun. They will talk a lot of trash in press conference. But when it comes to fighting skills, I think Islam will take him. He will eat him, to be honest.
I think Islam would take him. And you know what? People actually talk about Ilya's grappling, but you know he hasn't competed in grappling at like a high level in a long,
Yeah,
long
yeah,
time. He's
that's the
different.
thing. Yeah,
When you watch
yeah,
Ilya's grapple, right, it's very artistic sort of grappling. Like you will see he's grappling with the guy. He's doing a lot of motion. He's changing the positions, advancing. Okay, he's getting the top bound, going to side guard, getting the back.
yeah,
This
yeah.
stuff looks pretty cool. But you know, when you're going against a guy who's actually
But bro,
like putting up,
he's not gonna be able to pull it off in an actual fight. Have you
it
seen
doesn't
him
happen
pull
in
off
a
anything
dude.
like
When
that?
we are
Yeah,
grappling, like me, when me and Fike are grappling, when we're doing the techniques against each other,
yeah, we're doing
against
cool
when
stuff
we're
as well.
sparring is
But
different. Like we
yeah,
can pull
exactly.
some things in drilling. Like we can do bolo, we can do a lot of other cool stuff.
Like, bro,
In,
that DOS escape that we did, DOS escape transitioning into
do you think we
armbar,
can
like, we
actually do
can
that in a
do that when
spar?
we're drilling, but in an actual
Yeah, but
spar, I
not
don't
in
think
actual
so we'll be able to
spar.
pull it off.
Maybe if you train for like a couple of years, then it's yeah. But if you have a grappler like Islam Makhachev, you're not doing that, dude.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Okay, there's some comments. They said, we are not getting Ilya versus Islam. Ilya is too small for welterweight. Islam has nothing to prove at lightweight. Yeah, that is
I
fair
agree.
point.
But Islam is pretty drained at lightweight at the moment. Like he's gone so big. You know how much he's eating right now. There's not
Yeah.
much point to actually going down again. Usman actually a tough matchup. He's the least deserving but hardest skill wise matchup. You know, this is the thing I was talking about. Like, there's a portion of the fans that think Usman is going to be the toughest fight because he can actually defend the takedowns. He's the only guy in the welterweight division who might actually shoot the takedowns against Islam too. No one else can even bother to even think about like shooting the takedowns against Islam. And he
Yeah.
had proved that he had good cardio of like 5 rounds against Kobe Covington against some of the high level matchups again. The only
Mm-hmm.
thing is, people are not going to buy it because he's facing a lot of backlash for saying that he's number 8 in the rankings. He has only
Mm-hmm.
won one fight in his last 4 fights.
Yeah.
So that's the only criticism. So I think he needs to win one or two good matchups. Actually, one good matchup might be enough because Islam actually wants that fight. So maybe win a fight against like a good contender. And
Mm-hmm.
if you can dominate the fight while wrestling, I think people will buy it more.
Yeah.
Um,
I would like to see Ian, Usman, and Morales in that order, not
yeah,
Ilya.
yeah.
I mean, that
And
makes
with
sense.
the
Yeah.
options that Wen is saying, I would say um I agree with Ian. I agree with Morales to some extent. My first priority would be Ian. My second would be Morales. And Protes, I just don't think you should get in now. Do I think he's the
Yeah,
best
but I don't
striker
think the
right?
protest
Huh?
is deserving right now. I don't think the protest is deserving that much,
I don't think
right?
Protes deserves it because he got out wrestled by Ian Gary. I think he deserves one more win. Do I
Yeah.
think he's probably the most dangerous? Like if you're talking about like a one shot KO, he's probably the most dangerous.
But do
But
do you not think Ilya is more dangerous than Protest
Um,
in that
well,
sense?
if you're
Then
talking about like the whole skill set, yes. But if you're talking about like one shot KO, I'm just talking about like one shot KO.
yeah,
Broadus is the most dangerous, but
yeah,
I think his
okay,
takedown defense is not there yet.
yeah, he's not gonna be there. Yeah, Kamaru Usman is old now. He is not even tougher than Morales, Pratis, and Ian. That's what I'm saying. I feel like Usman is not even gonna be at his best. That's what I think.
dude.
He's
But also
old.
the thing is,
Bro, the knees
maybe,
are gone. Like, what is he gonna do?
but
Bro, his
you
whole
know,
game before was to wrestle, and obviously his jab is good, but Islam is too smart for that. Like he will know, okay, avoid the jab, probably shoot a lot of times to basically get Usman
okay.
down.
The thing about like, is Usman going to be the same as like when he was in his prime?
That's what
Probably
I'm
not
thinking. I don't
exactly the
think
same,
so.
but he's going to get the motivation. He's going to train one last time for the fight, and he's going to say, "I'm going to go to the my limit. I'm going to cross my limits. Doesn't matter if I get injured during the camp. Doesn't matter if I'm in a bad position in the camp, in a bad position in the fight. Let's say, right?
Yeah,
I'm going to fight to the death because that's the thing. That's the fight where I want to prove myself, and
yeah.
it's a legacy fight. So I can see that
Usman will eat.
aspect. Like he's going to fight
Yeah,
hard one last time. With that being said, skill wise, Usman is the hardest fight. But where does he beat Islam though? He beats Islam nowhere. Do you think he's going
yeah,
to be
he
able to
did
beat
say
Islam in
some of it, to
striking?
be honest.
Osman
Yeah.
has powerful hands. We saw he beat. He was able to drop Masvidal. But he is a little
Probably
bit
probably
longer
some
than
jaws.
Islam.
Yeah.
But Islam is a good striker, man. Islam can kick with him. Usman doesn't
Yeah,
even kick. He
exactly.
doesn't
It's
throw
just
head
gonna
kick.
keep him at range, yeah.
Islam can keep him range. Islam's got good boxing and stuff. Do you think Usman is better than Islam at wrestling? Maybe pure like freestyle wrestling, but even that Islam is pretty good. But like involving judo and all the aspects of like grappling, I don't even think grappling with Islam is like the best idea.
Yeah.
Because I think if it
There's
goes to the
some
ground, if it hits
comments.
it, Islam is going to be able to sweep him, even if Usman actually takes him down.
Okay, let me read out these comments. Usman will eat Pratis. Alive, what are you talking about? No man, Pratis can beat Usman easily. Pratis can beat Usman is a very
Okay, here's the
controversial
thing.
take.
If they actually fight, I think Usman is likely to beat him. I think Usman is
I think
likely
so
to
as
maul
well.
him,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be
The only thing
surprised.
is because I haven't seen Pratis grappling to that extent. That's why I'm saying it.
It's
Um,
like whoever implements the game
but if
plan.
Pratis can hold Usman up and not get taken
Dude,
down, then I think Pratis
dude,
can
if
dominate.
they stand up for 3 minutes straight, Usman
Yeah.
is going to sleep bad.
What about his chin? Is his chin good? I think Usman has a decent chin, to be honest.
Usman has a decent chin. Other than like that head kick knockout, the headshot dead knockout, he has never been actually dropped.
Yeah.
So his chin is pretty good. He can actually take a shot, but Proudest, dude, that guy hits harder than anyone I've
Yeah.
seen. Have you seen how he's
Yeah.
been dropping people?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you stand up with Proudest for 3 minutes straight, you're going
Yeah.
down bad. But if Usman can, I think Usman can take him down and then. But hey,
Ain't
the
no
thing about
one
It
beat
doesn't have submissions though, right?
Islam right now. So he just need a resume to solidify him as a undisputed goat. Yeah, he's
I
right.
believe he's already number two on the GOAT list. Like I just made a GOAT list yesterday and I was saying I'm gonna put GSP as number one because GSP was able to avenge both of the losses that he had. He was also facing very high level competition, beat Penn twice, Matt Hughes moved up a weight class, Michael Bisping. I think GSP was a guy who could also do everything. Like, where do you see a guy
Yeah.
who has all the skills? He could wrestle, he could grapple, he had a pretty karate style based striking as well. It was pretty nice. I think Islam is pretty close. I think Islam is number two because Islam is beating his guys worse than GSP was beating it. GSP had tight fights. You watch the fight
Yeah.
against Johnny
Yep.
Hendricks, it was a close fight. You see some of the other fights, like BJ Penn fight was a close fight. With Islam, there's no close fights. You could have
Exactly.
an
Yeah.
argument the first Volk fight was a good one, but how he beat JDM, how he beat Volk second time, how he beat
I
Moicano,
beat
like
Charles Oliveira.
he's finishing guys pretty quick.
Yeah.
So and now if you guys are talking about like John Jones, if you allow PDs, I'm gonna say John Jones is the greatest fighter of all time. No one comes close.
Yep.
But if you take PDs off, dude, this guy's cheated so many times. So I'm not gonna put John Jones on the
Exactly.
gold list.
Did you guys know he hidden what you say below Octagon for 25 minutes when USADA came into his gym?
And you thought I actually came
That's like a funny story. Just just
just to
check that
share it.
story out. It's
That's actually
hilarious.
happened. When somebody told me first time I found out, I thought maybe people are
Well, I
joking
was
about it.
shocked. I didn't believe it until I checked it. I
Dude, I
searched.
think Chael Sonnen was talking about it or something. I thought they
Yeah,
joking
yeah,
around. Like
yep.
Chael just jokes about anything anyway. And then I actually
But it's
read
actually
into
a
it.
true story. It's not.
It's
It's not
actually a
like.
true story. This guy was hiding under. The problem with Prowse actually is that he's not even better than JDM. So I don't just see him getting anything while there's monsters around. So here's the thing: if you're talking about the skills, overall skills, Prowse does not possess the overall skills. He's not as good as JDM. He's not as good as Usman, but he's the most dangerous because he's got one shot KO power. So that
Yeah.
I understand. So if products could be fighting anybody, you could still have that threat of like, oh, him knocking me out 5%. Islam is much better than products, so technically he should win the fight, but you never know. I think Islam will defend two, three times, then Hope Hamzat moves to light heavyweight. Then Islam wins middleweight belt. It would be so nice.
That would be
You know
insane.
what? I feel like
If that
remember,
if that goes by plan, holy shit.
Hamza is gonna move up to light heavyweight. Everybody knows that.
Oh,
He's moving to
he
light.
is, yeah.
He's already
But
talked about
if
it.
Islam moves up and gets a middleweight belt, holy shit.
Do you think he can get it if Hamzat is
I
not
think I
there?
think it's possibility, yeah. It's just I think DDP might be his toughest opponent there.
Yeah,
Apart
but I
from
think
that,
I think he's
I
gonna
don't
beat
think so.
DDP. I think he'll beat DDP.
Do you
You
think?
know, you know why? Because he doesn't have to get desperate for the takedowns like Hamza Chimaev against DDP.
Yeah, that's true.
Islam can strike with DDP for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and he's gonna
Yeah,
have faster hands. Remember when he was fighting Jack Della,
yeah.
JDM? His coach
Hmm.
was like, "We're just gonna be looking at the speed difference in the first few minutes, so we understand like if Islam can actually stay evasive in the fight and actually shoot for the takedowns. Against DDP, he's gonna be even faster. Like
Yeah,
DDP hasn't seen a speed like this. The only difference, I know what you're saying, like DDP is very resilient and he's
yeah,
strong. Can Islam actually do what Hamza did? No,
yeah,
Islam is not going to be able to do what Hamza did, but he can do something else. He
yeah.
can win it in a different way. He doesn't have to hold him for
He
like the
can,
four
yeah.
minutes.
He can submit.
He's going
Yeah,
to be smart.
he's
He's
good.
going to strike with DDP. Islam has more solid striking than DDP. DDP has more sort of like awkward striking, right?
Yep,
The only concern is can Islam take the power of DDP? I think Islam is a very evasively good fighter. He can stay outside,
yep,
get a few nice shots in, then shoot a takedown, take him down. Wrestling is better. He's still going to be able to take him down. Get
yeah.
the control for like 40 seconds, 50 seconds. That's it. You get back up, you strike again. That's it.
Okay, there's comment. Well, actually, I think he's above GSP. His opponents was like no names compared to Islam. So his six title fights better than GSP title run. I agree. Yeah,
The only
I
thing,
put Islam as a number one, right?
how many title wins did GSP? Was it like 9 or 11?
Oh, he probably had quite a lot like that. Yeah,
Title.
somewhere like that. I think
It's the number as well. I'm looking at like GSP actually had a long run, right?
he did have a
Defensive.
long run, but he
Did.
was never a double champ.
Oh no, he was double
That-
champ.
He was a double champ.
Bro, he retired, then he came back. He beat Michael Bisping.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know,
but he
like
didn't defend it, right? He didn't defend that
he didn't
belt.
defend it, but still, bro,
Yeah,
he beat Michael Bisping, and like that was the GSP that was actually coming back up for a long time. So people didn't even know if he had what it takes to
yeah,
beat a guy like Michael Bisping. So
yeah.
he had 9 successful title defenses. Like, dude,
Mm,
you know what? I'm gonna put Islam as number one if he wins his next fight. Like, depends upon the fight that he's winning, right? If he beats a
yeah,
guy like, let's say, Ilya Taporia, even though Ilya would be at massive size disadvantage, but just because of the magnitude of the fight, I know when they're selling the fight, they're gonna sell this fight as like two best pound for pound right now. Like
yeah.
these guys are the two best pound for pound right now. Ilya is the guy who's been sleeping your best fighters. And Islam going against him, there's going to be a big build up. There's going to be a massive audience tuning into the fight. Islam wins that. I'm going to put him as number one pound for pound.
Yep.
I think right now,
Or if
because
Islam beats Ian Gary, I think that's or
I think
Shafkat. I think
anybody at
yeah,
170, anybody at
yeah.
170, he dominates it. I'm going to say Islam at number
What do
one.
you think
But
about John Ballas Jones? Who's that?
Joan Balls, Joan Balls Jones. Well,
Who the
I don't
hell
know
is
if
that?
that's I don't know if that's a typo or if he's actually
Oh, I think he means John Bones Jones.
I think he
John
means
Bones
Joan Bones
Jones.
Jones. But
I
I
think
wouldn't be surprised because Jones has shown us a lot in the past. So okay, so
John
yeah,
Jones is a
I don't
big
put him.
fighter. It's just we don't advocate the cheating part and
Dude, I think it
hitting a
gives you a
pregnant
massive
woman
advantage,
and
right?
running, hiding
How
under
do you
the octagon for 25 minutes. I don't think so.
exactly,
We are
bro?
big
This guy
fans of
beat
that.
Danny Cormier in the second fight when
Yeah,
he was on PEDs. Um, many of his fights, he's been caught 4 times. By the way, he's failed the drug test 4 times, and
yeah,
he had fights that were controversial. Dominic Reyes fights, he's lost it 100%. Watched him multiple times. Watched analysis multiple times. He's lost that fight. Alexander Gustafsson close fight, he probably won it. Thiago Silva close fight, he probably Thiago Santos close fight probably won it. Dominic Reyes 100% lost it. Ducked Francis Ngannou, ducked Tom Aspinall.
okay. He replied, "Good. Don't bring that gay shit here. He ain't no goat. Great fighter, top four even, but he's a drug cheat. Yeah, I agree.
I agree
I agree.
completely. But I would also not
And,
deny
and I,
that
don't,
if
I
you,
don't I don't like the most recent thing that he's doing, just ducking Tom Espinal. Like, bro, DC took a
yeah,
fight when he was close to 40 against John Jones. He wasn't ducking John Jones, was he?
and DQ loss as well. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
DQ loss is kind of controversial, but yeah, I get it. Yeah, that was like Mad. What's his name? Mad Hamill or something. That
yeah.
he was
Okay, yeah,
elbowing
yeah.
like
I'm
six.
gonna get off the stream now. I will pop in the chat. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go upstairs and probably
Okay, that's
chill,
fine. I will
get
stream
changed
for
and
like a
stuff.
couple more minutes, but you can actually pop in the chat if you wanna.
Yeah, I'm
That's
gonna I'm
totally
gonna
fine.
pop in the chat. All right,
Okay.
guys. It was good chatting as well.
Yeah, Pike, have
See
a
you
good
guys.
one.
Yeah, bye bye.
And by the way, with John Jones, right? If you're just talking about like the resume, this guy's beaten like 9 to 10 world champions, former world champions. So I mean, if it's just the wins, if you're just talking about that, you can actually see that John Jones is that. You can have an argument that John Jones was a goat. And him fighting Stipe was shit. Yeah, why was this fight even made? Like, this guy did not deserve to fight for the title. Stipe Miocic was 42 years old when he actually fought John Jones. And by the way, it's not even that he was 42. He was out for like three. He was out for like 3 to 4 years, and this guy only had like 2 to 3 weeks camp. Everybody knows Stipe did not train for the fight. He was there for the paycheck. They wanted to promote John Jones, and they knew John Jones could fuck up Stipe Miocic at this point in his life. So they were like, okay, let's make this fight happen. So I just don't think that fight should have ever happened. And but yeah, man, this is the thing with the MMA. Sometimes they try to build up John Jones, they try to protect him. But if you're just looking about the pure talent, pure skills, and resume, John Jones definitely. But I just wouldn't put him as number one because of the drug cheating and stuff. He did not deserve it. The point is, John Jones did not fight Stipe in his prime. If Stipe was fighting John Jones in his prime, that would have been impressive. And by the way, did you see Stipe was actually catching John Jones in the fight? Like, there were points when Stipe would actually land on John Jones, but Stipe was so slow, man. Watch Stipe fights when he was fighting like DC, not even DC. Watch his fights in his prime. Stipe was fast. Stipe had like golden hands, right? Stipe was never a kicker. This guy had limited skill set. He couldn't kick, but he was one of the best boxers. Watch his, I think he had a career as like golden glove boxer before coming to UFC. But in John Jones' fight, he was just slow. Like, every punch that he was throwing was slow. His footwork was slow. He just didn't have the timing. And that's when I was thinking, like, if John Jones on that day fought like Tom Aspinall, Aspinall could have actually caught him. Um, but talking about John, actually fight versus Pereira making sense, just not for a title. So John Jones versus Alex Pereira, I think that's a good fight in the White House card when they can actually make it. I know Dana wants to punish him, and that's why he doesn't want to give him the fight, because John Jones actually wasted like a whole year of Dana White, and that's why Dana White doesn't want to award him the opportunities. But I think that would actually make sense. That would actually make sense. But you know what I can see them doing? I can see them doing John Jones versus Alex Pereira in the White House for the interim championship. Because Tom Aspinall has been out for a long, long time. And Dana might even punish Sorrel Gone for the eye poke that he did. So Dana might just make John Jones versus Alex Pereira for the interim title. I can see that happen, bro, by the way. Because he knows people are going to buy that shit. That's going to sell a lot. Because you're putting John Jones in the White House. You want to see him with the title, right? And I'm sure Donald Trump actually loves John Jones as well. Remember when John Jones won his last fight, he's doing like a Donald Trump dance. So I'm sure Donald Trump is gonna like that as well. Yeah, I can also look. There was also the news that they might make Gan versus Pereira for the interim title. But they pulled Pereira out of the light heavyweight title when he was supposed to defend his title against Carlos Urberg. But they are making Carlos Urberg versus Jiri Prohaska for a contender fight. Why do you think they're making this fight? Why didn't they put Urberg versus Alex Pereira? It means Alex Pereira is actually going to move to heavyweight. So they could make Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane for the interim title in like February, let's say, and then you could have the winner facing John Jones in the White House card, and they think Alex Pereira can take Cyril Gane. Look, Gane is not like a one punch knockout artist, and Gane is not going to grapple with Pereira. So even if it goes to 5 rounds and it's like a close match, the judges can give it to Alex Pereira just to make a big fight. So maybe like BMF or something like that. I mean, they could also do BMF. I could see that happen. Will they make Alex Pereira versus John? Who do you think if Tom is unable to fight again? Will they make Alex Pereira versus John Jones? I can see that happen. He said it, but Alex fighting in the White House. Yeah, that's a problem, man. Alex is he said that he's not fighting in the White House, so I'm not sure about this. So I don't know what's going to happen with the White House card. By the way, what do you think about the White House card? Do you think it's actually, do you think the White House card is actually happening? Because remember when the White House card actually came, Donald Trump was talking about like we're going to sell the whole card. There's going to be 80,000 people in the White House, and then it was like a few months ago, it was like, oh no, there's actually going to be 20,000 people in the White House, and then now a month ago it was like we're only going to do like 5,000 people in the White House. So is the event actually happening? And then they were saying, oh, there's going to be like 7 fights, 7 title fights in the White House. That's what they said. And now it's like, oh, we're not going to be able to make 7 fights because then you're going to ruin the whole year, right? Like that's common sense. If you make 7 title fights in the White House, what are you going to do for the rest of the year? Probably not the smartest idea. And in the start, it was like, oh, we're going to put all the stars in the White House. There's going to be John Jones. There's going to be Conor McGregor. There's going to be all of these guys. And now it's like Dana White is not interested in Conor McGregor fighting in the White House. And now it's like, oh, John Jones versus Alex Pereira. Dana is interested in John Jones versus Alex Pereira, but Pereira said, I'm not going to be fighting in the White House. And Khabib doesn't want Islam fighting in the White House because of like the whole situation with the uh, Palestine and stuff. Like, he's not a fan of Donald Trump. I am Russian, so I don't see any Russian champions actually for real fights at the White House. See, that's the point I'm making. Like, there's a obviously Islam want to fight in the White House for his legacy. A part of him want to fight in the White House because that's like the biggest event. But a part of him is like, all right, why do I want to fight in the White House when there's like the war situation? They're not on the same side. I don't want to go too political with that, but obviously they don't like that part of it. So I can also see them not fighting in the White House. So in that case, you're going to struggle with people in the White House. You're gonna not going to be able to have enough fight in the White House, and you might be doing something like you might be doing some sort of like not the high skill level matchups, but like the high star power matchups. You could be doing something like let me come up with an example. Like Conor versus Chandler is not a high level fight, but that would be something that would sell. But you could be doing something like Bo Nickel, maybe Bo Nickel, promote him as like an American champion. Or actually, let me come up with a better example. You could be doing something like Kobe Covington. Like, does Kobe deserve to be in the White House card? Like, this guy hasn't fought in a long time. He's not fought in a long time. He's not the best skilled fighter right now. But you could do him against one of the fighters from like a outside region, and he could actually sell a fight because Kobe can talk a lot of shit, and Kobe's like Donald Trump's favorite fighter, like he talks about it, right? So he could sell a fight like that. So you could do like one sort of like patriotic fight there. Khabib also might not allow it. Wolfpack, yeah, I completely understand it. Like Khabib is not a fan of Islam fighting on the White House card. Yeah, it's almost half of the titles, and yeah, Khabib might not allow it. I can see 2, 3, 4 fights, not too much. We may see Conor versus Chandler. If there are too much fights, they won't have any more big fights. Another day versus Kamaru Usman would be Kobe versus Kamaru would be nice. Look, if they're doing Kobe versus Kamaru, right, for the White House card, that could be nice because Kobe's gonna talk a lot of shit. He could be like, "I am American, you are Nigerian," and then it will be like a patriotism sort of fight. Even though Kamaru Usman is also like American, but the way they could actually sell the fight is like Kamaru could just become Nigerian. It's like I'm gonna represent Nigeria in this fight, and it's America versus Nigeria going on. He can bring some. Kamaru Usman is a Muslim. Kobe can bring some Islamic stuff as well. You know the situation with like the Islam and like America and inside the country. It's pretty political situation. So the way they could sell the fight is like this. Does UFC actually want to take that sort of route? I don't know. For the money, they might actually make it like that. Yeah, from his perspective, it obviously doesn't make the sense. It's not gonna get him high in the rankings. Like even if he wins a fight against Kobe Covington, what does he get? He's beaten him 2 times before that. The only reason I could see him taking the fight is because of money, right? I think they're gonna pay them a lot of money. They're fighting on the White House card. And like if Donald Trump actually says that if Donald Trump could have a private conversation with those guys and be like, sell the shit out of the fight, you know, like bring politics into this, bring religion into this. I mean, that is the only thing that can probably make it possible for like those guys to actually do it. Colby would be happy about it. Trust me, Colby is the kind of guy who would be happy about this. Would Usman be comfortable with that sort of fight? I don't know about it, but they could definitely do something like that. But to me, I don't think they could actually make like a great White House card. They could Ilya versus the winner of the the interim title fight. That could be a good fight. You could put that as a co-main event, and the main event, to me, Alex versus Jones could actually be the main event if we could. If Alex actually is fighting in the White House card, I know he was talking about like not fighting in the White House card. It could be the timing that maybe he's fighting in like February or March. They might be booking a fight against Royal Gone. So maybe he thought the timing was not going to be right for the White House card. But I think Alex is the kind of guy who can actually make a comeback very soon. And if they offer him good money and they offer him a good spot on the White House card, I think he'll be willing to do it. I think Alex is a guy who would do it. And when he said initially that he was not going to be fighting in the White House card, it could be that they were offering him somebody that he didn't want. But I am sure if they give him John Jones, just because both of those guys actually want the fight, they really want to fight each other, I think they will actually take it. Do you think should have won BMF for each division? I don't think so. I think it will take the value away from the division. Like there's some divisions that can definitely have the BMF belts. Like it depends upon the amount of talent that you have in the BMF division. Like if you're looking at 170, right? There's so many people that are fighting. They're killers inside the division. There's Pradas, there's Morales. Dude, the top 10 are killers. You have Leon Edwards, the guy's a former champion. He is a number 9. You have Joaquin Buckley. He was knocking people out. He was on a 6-5 winning streak like a month ago, like a few months ago before the Usman fight. He's on number 10. So all 10 are killers. So in this division, you can easily have a BMF. But I think BMF needs to have some sort of value. You needs to have a character for the BMF. This is what I think. Otherwise, you're going to take the value away from the BMF if you're putting in every division and you're giving everybody a BMF title shot. You need a character like Nate Diaz, right? You look at Nate Diaz, he's not the best fighter, but is he a BMF? You want a guy who has that inside and outside the cage. Like Nate Diaz is the kind of guy who would actually pick a fight with anybody on the streets. He's not scared of anybody. He doesn't quit. He doesn't tap out to submissions. Tony Ferguson was the BMF guy. Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, these are the guys, right? They are the BMF guys. So if you have those type of guys in the weight class, I think you could have a case for another BMF belt. But I don't think it should be happening with every weight class, and I don't think anybody should be getting that sort of BMF title shot. No more BMF, please. It's like too much pointless events without real belt. Fighters will be even less active. Yeah, I see that point as well. If you have that in every weight class, then and you're paying the same amount of money, some people might just be okay with the BMF. But then look, if you're giving the BMF title to, let's say, like Mighty Mouse, right? I'm giving an example. Like Mighty Mouse is he was a great fighter. He was a legend. Skill wise, he was very high. But if Mighty Mouse didn't have a title shot and you were giving him a BMF title shot, I wouldn't be happy with this. I don't think he would deserve it because that's not his personality. Mighty Mouse is like one of the nicest guys. When have you seen Mighty Mouse being like a bad motherfucker? I wouldn't be happy with this fight. Would I be happy for him getting the belt and getting the money out of the fights? Yes, but that would take the value out of the BMF because BMF is specifically made. Remember the first BMF fight you had Jorge Masvidal versus ADS. That was like a perfect thing. Masvidal, you know his character, you know his history. He was like a street fighter. He was getting paid $200 for a fight on the streets. So that's where he came from. He was that guy. Nate Diaz, he is that guy. Um, Ilya versus Patty would be good to highlight the card, but Gaethje versus Ilya would be more American. Um, I see the point. I see the point. So, which fight do you think would sell more? With Ilya versus Patty, right? I think they could do massive business. So one of the reasons I'm saying is there's a lot of football fans that are gonna tune up to the fight as well because now you're making Spain versus England. They're going to be talking about it. Football is very popular in Spain and America, especially these two countries have like the biggest leagues. England has the Premier League, Spain has their La Ligas, right? So especially when the matches are happening inside those countries, people from these countries actually travel to each other. So if there's like a match in Spain, English people will actually travel to Spain. If there's a match in England, Spanish people will actually travel to England to see that. On the White House card, it wouldn't be the same as that, but it would still sell a lot of tickets. And also because of the trash talk they would be doing. But with Gaethje and Ilya, there's another component, which is like the actual American component. I see that as well. Like Gaethje, he loves America. There could be like a patriotism component into this one. And then if Gaethje, let's say, knocks out Ilya, which is kind of unlikely, but if he does that, then you have an American champion, right? But at least he's going to be walking in with the belt. So at least you have a champion walking in with the belt. Interim title fight, right? Ah, I actually don't see Ilya fight Gaethje. He would rather vacate than fight him. Dude, I think Ilya would take the fight against Gaethje because that's a very winnable fight. The only fights Ilya doesn't want to fight in the 155 is Arman Tsarukyan. Doesn't want to fight him because there's so much danger. Ilya's grappling has not been tested to that level, and against a guy who is in his prime like that, like Arman Tsarukyan would be a really hard fight for Ilya Topuria, and that's why Ilya's trying to avoid him. You know why he's trying to avoid him? Also because he wants to fight Islam Makhachev and he doesn't want to risk it. Like if the Islam fights happen now, you could really sell it. It will be a massive fight. Two of the best pound for pound fighters right now. But if he faces Arman Tsarukyan and then he loses the fight, and now he's going to fight Islam Makhachev, that fight is all of a sudden not that big. People are not going to buy that shit. So I think that's why he doesn't want to fight Arman. With Gaethje, there's a winnable route for Ilia Topuria. The fight is going to be on the feet. Justin Gaethje is not going to shoot the takedowns on Ilia Topuria. Ilya Topuria could be the one trying to actually take him down. But I also don't see Ilya taking him down because Ilya is not like a world class wrestler. He has done Greco Roman, but he's not like a Khabib sort of or like Hamza sort of wrestler. And Gaethje has very good takedown defense. So I think it's going to be on the feet. It could be dangerous because Gaethje is a very dangerous guy, but because I think Ilya is going to have a speed advantage, he's also a more solid boxer when it comes to like slipping and stuff. I think he's going to catch Gaethje, and I think it's going to be a vicious knockout to me. Um, yeah. If Gaethje wins it, if Gaethje wins against Patty, which I picked Gaethje to win against Patty, I think people are sleeping on Gaethje, but I think his stand up is much better, much more solid than Patty. I think Patty keeps his chin very high. He gets hit with the left hooks repeatedly. He's a decent wrestler and a very high level grappler, but are we going to see the fight actually hit the ground? If the fight hit the ground, I think Patty finishes him very quick. But I think it's unlikely because of Justin Gaethje's wrestling background. He needs to fight Islam right now. If not, it's a risk. Islam retires too soon. Gaethje ain't worth risk of losing the golden goose. Man, I think Ilya would take it. I think Ilya would take it. And just because he's already said that he's coming back in April to June. Did you read the comments today when he was replying to one of his fans saying that I'm coming back in from April to June? It means he's gonna, and he said he's gonna fight the winner of Gaethje versus Patty. So he has said he's been vocal about it. It means he would actually take the fight. And you know what? If they're actually putting like a restriction on it, that like Islam is fighting somebody else. So at the moment, you have to defend your title at least one time, and then you could take the Islam fight. Then he's gonna have to do it. He has to defend the title against somebody. So might as well defend against Gaethje. Because if you're not defending against Gaethje, then you might have to defend against Armand, which is a bad fight. So I think he would do that. And bro, statistically, to me, it seems like a very winnable fight. He believes Patty wins 100%. I think I think he does believe it, but I also think that he's ready if Gaethje wins. If things do not go his way. With Patty, there's so many benefits of the fight. First of all, the amount of money you're going to be making, the trash talk you're going to be doing, the build up that you would have to the fight. You already have a storyline with Patty, and it's a very winnable fight because I don't see Patty having any sort of way to beat you for you. But I think with Gaethje, he sees a lot of paths to victory as well. Like if he's able to take Gaethje down, I'm sure Ilya can actually submit Gaethje as well. He has a few submissions in UFC, and I'm sure he can actually submit Gaethje if he actually takes him to the ground. Because Justin Gaethje, he doesn't do any jiu-jitsu. He only recently he started doing jiu-jitsu. Like if you watch his fights against Khabib, right? When he fought Khabib, he said that the build up to the fight, Justin Gaethje said it himself that he does not do any jiu-jitsu. Uh, okay, yeah. So that's going to be with Gaethje. It's going to be interesting. I know what you're saying, like a one punch knockout threat is going to be there. Like Justin Gaethje could be a very dangerous fighter because he has this one punch knockout power, so he could always land that punch. But did you see the fight of Ilya versus? He was fighting the ball guy at 145. I forgot the name of the guy, man. This guy was sleeping everybody. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy. But there's like a ball guy that he was fighting at 145 who he outboxed, and that guy slapped Bryce Mitchell really bad. But Ilya was able to evade all of his punches, and Ilya actually inflicted a lot of damage on the guy. So I think that's how the Gaethje fight could actually look like. But who's fighting the featherweight? It was Max Holloway at that time. It was Ilya Taporia. It was Bryce Mitchell. It was Brandon. What's his name, man? I can't remember the name of the guy. Let me just find out. Let me just find out quickly. Ilya Taporia. Charles Rivera just engaged Jai Herbert. Ilya Taporia KOs. Yeah, I'm trying to find his record. I'm trying to find Ilya Taporia's record. So he beat Charles Oliveira. He knocked out Max Holloway. He knocked out Volkanovski. Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett is the guy I'm talking about. Yeah, so Josh Emmett was the guy who was hitting very hard. He was beating everyone in the weight class. He was on like a long fight winning streak. Yeah, I am so sorry, guys. I don't even know if anybody's watching, to be honest. I I thought that I actually put my charger. I actually thought that I started charging the phone, but it was my battery died. And now I'm back to the stream again. Yeah. Yeah, so if anybody was watching the stream and you want to pop back onto the stream, you can. Is anybody still watching the stream? Okay, guys, let me know if if you have any questions. I can answer any questions. And I am so sorry, my battery died, and that's why I had to. I did not even end the stream, to be honest. It's like I thought I was charging my phone. I put the pin in, but it was apparently it was not charging the phone, so my stream just died. But I wanna just keep streaming. To be honest, I can stream for like a bit and just drop any comments in the section. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think is going to be the best to? Who do you guys think is going to be the most likely guy to actually get a title shot against Islam Makhachev? Do I just end the stream? By the way, it just seems like nobody's going to join the stream. You know what? I'm going to start another stream. I might start a different topic, but this time I'm probably going to end the stream in a while.